If you own a leasehold property and are planning to alter it, one of the first things to check is whether you need a license for alterations. In many cases, the lease will require the freeholder's written consent before works begin. If you proceed without that consent, you may be in breach of the lease and could even be required to reinstate the property to its previous condition. A license for alterations can apply to a wide range of works, both structural and non-structural. Common examples include changing floor finishes, relocating kitchens or bathrooms, altering services such as gas, water, or electrics, making layout changes, and changing windows. The exact position always depends on the wording of the lease. Our role as license for alterations surveyors is to review the proposed works from the perspective of the building as a whole, including the wider structure and neighbouring flats. The aim is to make sure the risks associated with the works, both during construction and in the longer term, are properly considered and reduced as far as possible. The process usually begins with reviewing the lease to understand the type of alterations covenant involved. We then review the plans, approach the freeholder, deal with information requests, and often arrange a site inspection and schedule of condition where there is a risk to neighbouring areas or common parts. After that, the draft license is negotiated and agreed. Once the license has been signed, the leaseholder is then in a position to commence the works lawfully. There may also be interim inspections during the works and a post-work inspection at the end to check for damage or non-compliance. The lease wording is key. Some leases contain a fully qualified covenant where consent cannot be unreasonably withheld. Others contain a qualified covenant where consent is needed but is more discretionary. Others contain an absolute covenant where the works may be prohibited unless the freeholder is willing to waive the restriction. If you are planning leasehold alterations, it is important to review the lease early, understand the level of consent required, and make sure the process is handled properly from the outset. If you are planning alterations to a leasehold property and want clear, practical advice, get in touch with us today, and we will be happy to discuss the next steps.